The six-crew lineup for the first semi-final of the women's quads. Lithuania in lane 1, with the nucleus of the crew that took 9th place last year. China in lane 2, they too have a nucleus. 3 out of the 4 members of the crew took silver last year at Indianapolis. Canada lane 3, more about them very soon. Very much the crew to watch. Germany with 3 members of last year's gold medal crew. Then the Americans, with 2 members surviving from their last year's 6th placed, and Romania in lane 6, with a nucleus from last year's crew that took 10th. But this Canadian crew contains Marnie McBean and Kathleen Heddy, who we've already seen earlier in the day's programme when they competed and won their semi-final for the women's heavyweight double sculls. So doubling up in this event, as they did with great success a few years ago when they competed in both the women's 2- and the 8 at the World Championships in Vienna in '91. They took gold medal there, and they repeated exactly the same effort at Barcelona at the Olympics the following year. So we're looking for something extra special yet again from these Canadians.
Well, the roll call has now started, and then all the crews are sitting forward and ready, breathing, trying to relax, squeeze this boat away cleanly off the start. See the bow girl and the Romanian crew just glancing behind, last-minute touch, and they're away. A great explosion of sound and colour as these wonderful boats, quad sculls, move through for the start of the first of these 2 semi-finals, the women's quadruple sculls. 3 crews to go through. They're all safely through that first 100 metres. In the early start, you can see the Canadians already starting to settle down. Great shot across that start there. There's an interesting shot of the stroke girl, the Canadian crew there, Marnie McBean, defying one of the first rules, which is always try and breathe. Now she started. I suspect it won't do her too much harm, and as we pick them up, as they come through that first 500-metre marker, we find that Germany making the early pace there, USA perhaps just in 2nd, China maybe 3rd, and Canada 4th, but very little in it in this early stages. Right now, all these crews will be trying hard to settle into their race pace, a strong pounding rhythm that'll take them through the middle part of this course. And they're through the 500-metre marker now, and the legs will be burning, arms starting to get very stiff and sore, and all the time they'll be telling themselves to just relax, 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 move fast.
It's a straight 3 to qualify from this race for the grand final, unlike the last few races we've seen. So 3rd place is the clincher. And at the moment, the leading contenders, Germany there to the left of your shot. The Americans in lane 5, and Canadians hanging onto the 3rd qualifying slot at the moment.
The stroke of that German quad with that characteristic nod of the head as at the finish of the stroke. Obviously something she's got very used to over the years. Tough battle here between the US and Canada at the moment. They're very keen to score a victory over each other in this. And the Canadian girls, Marnie McBean and Kathleen Heddy, who raced earlier on today, they'll be wanting to do just enough and absolutely no more to get through this semi-final. They've got several hard races ahead of them yet. Long way before they can start thinking about medals now.
So the Germans maintaining a 3/4 of a length lead. The Germans, as I say, with the nucleus of last year's gold medal crew from Indianapolis. They brought in Jana Tima in the bow seat to boost up their strength. Tima, previously the West German heavyweight women's single sculler. This crew going very well indeed. Beginning to try and open up clear water between themselves and the 2nd place Canadians.
I feel if the Germans can just get a little touch more than a length, then we'll probably see them not try to open up much more, but of course that will be dictated by the speed at which the crews in second and third place will have to go to stay ahead of whichever crew is in fourth. At the moment, through that 1,000-metre marker, it was China, and China, although going to be pressing them, there's just a little bit of leeway at the moment to allow the Canadians and the Americans to relax. And if you're going to try and challenge someone, what you've got to try to do is knock them out of their rhythm by continually pushing at them and never letting them settle. You can see this terrific rhythm in this Canadian boat now starting to move through. They've obviously had a good kick through that period from 1,000 to 1250. So with 750 to go, looking very strong indeed. Managed to pull out some ground on that American crew. A couple of lanes to their right. And the Americans will be painfully aware of that number 2 on the Chinese boat pushing back at them.
So well spread out field in the first semi-final of the women's quad sculls. And the 3 qualifying slots currently held by Germany, Canada and the United States. And the Chinese seeking to capitalize on their win in '93, silver medal last year, but yet to really make their presence felt on these 3 very strong contenders up in the lead of the field.
Yes, I think the US matched that push of the Canadians, but they did it 250 meters later, and what we found is that they've just given them that little bit, given themselves that little bit of breathing space over the Chinese, and they'll now be attempting to do as little as possible to get themselves through. China pushing hard, they're not going to give up.
Well, now if they can come back on this deficit, then that'll be a real turn-up for the books, because what we've seen so far in the racing today is that China, who lack a lot of experience in international competition until they come right down to a major championships like this, they like to get out in the lead and stay there. And tactics at this level are not their strong point, I would suggest. And in fact, they've got half a length of clear water to make up before they even get back on terms with the Americans.
There's nothing much ruffling the feathers of this particular boat.
If anything, Canada trying to come back on terms with the Germans, and they've got clear water behind them. But really no need to pack on the pressure for the Canadians. McBean and Heady will want to conserve their energy, because they now have 2 grand finals to contest if the positions remain unchanged. There go Germany across the line, a length behind go Canada, and another length and 3/4 America. So those are the 3 qualifiers for the grand final. Then it's the Chinese in 4th place, and they, together with Romania and Lithuania, will contest the B final. Because they're the stern pair in the Netherlands quad that we're about to see, and they too won their semi-final, just like McBean and Heady in the women's double sculls earlier in the programme.